guys, good morning and welcome back to my channel and welcome back to the second part of this reading vlog, a Gentleman in Moscow reading vlog. I think I uploaded the vlog on Friday and I told you on my last update that I was actually pretty sick and I spent the weekend sick, but tonight was the first night in a while that I slept through without waking up at 3 or 5 a.m. coughing one of my lungs out. So that's good. But yeah, I read quite a bit. I think that I didn't mention this on my previous vlog, but the count is, now I've read a little bit more. Oh, Alfred is here. But when the count was, I think, 48, Nina showed up again. And you know from the vlog that I didn't like Nina. I didn't like the way she addressed the fact that the count was working, or was still working. She was just kind of, you're still a waiter. I didn't like that. But she came back and she asked the count to take care of her daughter, Sophia, who was 5 at the time, while she was trying to get her husband out of jail. Not really sure why he was in jail, or at least I don't remember why. But the count, being a good guy, was like, okay, let's do this. So Sophia is now 13. Nina said was going to be like a month or two. Sophia is now 13, so not sure where Nina is or what happened. We'll see. But it was quite funny the first few days because the count obviously he hasn't got any kids and he hasn't been with kids for a while. Nina was the last child he ever established contact with. And Nina was 9 when they met, so she was a little bit more mature. Sophia is 5, and she's a little bit like her mother. She's very serious. She has this very strict way of living, following the rules and all that. So the count really didn't know how to approach her. So he actually tried something that worked with her mother at the time. Let me see if I can find it. Asked Sophia if she wanted to hear a story about a princess. And Sophia, she's 5. Sophia said, and I quote, "The age of nobility has given way to the age of the common man. It was historically inevitable." And she felt all proud for the fact that she memorized the motto. And the count was just a little bit, yeah, I've been told. So it's so sad because this still happens, it's so sad when parents are really involved in politics and it's not like they pass it on. They literally force the kid to believe or to follow their views. It's just, they don't give the kids space to form their own opinions. And if they have a different opinion, let them be, they're free to choose. No, in this case, obviously being 90, I don't even know, it was 1930, I believe. Yeah, 1930 in Russia, after the revolution. Obviously parents are going to force their kids to believe in the communist motto. But yeah, good for you, Svea. So you don't like princesses because we live in the age of the common man and the age of nobility sucks. Okay, just let kids be kids. She's 5. So yeah, for the first few days, the count was a little bit not really sure what to do with the kid. And he was actually really scared that someone was going to say something because he has a kid living with him, in his tiny room. And they're not even related. He says he's her uncle, but, anyone could find out the truth. But Anna, that actress that the count is involved with from time to time, she actually helped him out. And apparently Sophia is now 13 and no one said anything, so let them be. And the count is approaching, I think, 60. which is weird. I mean, I feel like I've been with this person for the majority of his life, and it's just weird. Like, now you're 60. Oh, I remember when you were 30. It's so weird to see him like evolve. But yeah, so this morning, by the way, today's Monday. Today is the 23rd of February. So if you live in a country where Carnaval is celebrated, you know. But yeah, Carnaval is pretty big here in Portugal. Tuesday, tomorrow, is a public holiday, and schools have a 3 day break. So I only go back to work on Thursday, which is really cool because, we could all use a little break. So this morning, I already did a lot of my chores, and now I'm just having my coffee. And yeah, I'm just going to keep reading. Mishka came back. So Mishka was away for a while, and he was in jail for a while. He sort of refused, or I don't know if he didn't actually refuse, but he talked back to an editor because Mishka was editing Chekhov's letters, and there was one letter in specific, and Chekhov was in Germany at the time, and he said that the bread in Germany was the best, and people in Russia, those who haven't traveled, don't know how good bread can be, and the editor was like, we have to take this out because it is diminishing our bread. And so Mishka at first said yes, but then he went back and he just sort of attacked him verbally. He's back now, and he just mentioned so much stuff. I mean, again, learning so much from this book. Um, Remember when Nina first appeared? She was on her way to the countryside of Russia, um, to try and get the farmers to join the cause of the common man. So everything they produce would be like it belonged to the state, and you can't really sell it and make profit and stuff. And Mishka said, do you know that back in 1930, when they announced the mandatory collectivization of farming, half our peasants slaughtered their own livestock rather than give them up to the cooperatives? 14 million head of cattle left to the buzzwords and flies. And this was exactly, Nina was working with this cause at the time. And yeah, I mean, just imagine having to tell someone, you sort of kill yourself working to, with livestock to produce something, to sell, to get money, to pay your own bills, to just give your family a better life. And now someone goes there and just says, like, oh, this is like for everybody. Yeah. um, I mean, I wouldn't go as far as like, let's kill animals to prove a point. The Count is still working and loving and his job. And he's also like teaching this guy from the military English and French. So they meet once a month, I think. Not sure, on the first day of or the third day of each month, I'm not sure. And they just talk about like culture and language and all that. Um, and they're not really friends, but the guy sort of worries. The Count just showed up there after he talked to Mishka, and he's a little bit, distracted. And the guy is just like, oh my God, what's happening? Tell me. Um, I mean, no reason why they can't be friends, even though you're part of the problem. That's why the Count is in jail. But okay. So, talk to you soon. Hi. So it's just been a minute. So remember that guy that the Count is like teaching English and French? They are looking into American culture, and they're watching films. And the guy is just like super impressed with the genre film noir. And he says like these sort of films like sort of criticize everything that America stands for, like capitalism and all that. I mean, why would they allow these movies to be made? I mean, do they not realize they are hammering a wedge beneath their own foundation stones? Yeah, free speech is pretty cool, dude. I mean, he's so impressed because in Russia that would be completely impossible. Like, they could not make a movie or write a novel criticizing the system, the government. So he's like really impressed. I'll see you. So, hi again. Okay, first day of this vlog, and I think this is my third update, and it's still the morning, but I finished book 3 and I'm starting book 4, which is set in 1950. A couple of things happened. So, Sophia was 13 when I updated you last. She took a really nasty fall when she was running up the stairs because she has this game. She had this game with the count. They would see each other and just wave, and then Sophia would appear where the count was heading, like before he got there, and he was never able to beat her. And this evening, after meeting with I don't know how to pronounce his name, so I'm going to try. Ossip. So the guy, the count, has been helping with his English and French. Um, he saw Sophia and he waves, and then he thought, you know what, I'm going to beat her this time, I'm going to win. So he ran up the stairs, and then she didn't show up. One of the chambermaids showed up and said that Sophia had fallen and she was unconscious. She had a really nasty gash on her forehead and was really bloody. So the count just, that father instinct, he picked her up and he just left the hotel. And I was like, oh my god, he's gonna die. What? You can't leave the hotel. And he actually, like, he got a cab and he went to a hospital. Like, he could only think of one hospital. That back when he was, a free man, he knew it was a really good hospital. So he was like, okay, I'm gonna take her to that hospital. But when he got there, he saw that it's not as good anymore. There's only, like, it's a sort of a free clinic thing. You have like a lot of homeless people there, and he wanted a surgeon, so he didn't know if they had a surgeon there. And then all of a sudden, this guy shows up, like this really young surgeon, and he knows the count by name. So we got a little bit freaked out. This whole thing was planned by Ossip. So he said that, we need to keep tabs on our men of interest, and Count is a man of interest. So basically, he helped the Count. And it's nice. Like, it's nice to see someone who totally disagrees with the Count, in terms of political views and ideals. Someone who, in a way, works for the government that um, gave the Count this punishment, and like, he can't leave the hotel. But because the Count has been so good to him, like, he's been teaching him for over 15 years, Ossip, like, helped him. He found the best surgeon, and he just sent the Count back to the hotel, like, as soon as possible, so the Count wouldn't be discovered, and like, everything the Count did wouldn't be discovered, and he would be like safe and not dead because he left the hotel. So basically, he was breaking the law. After knowing that Sophia would be all right, like, she had to be taken to a very good hospital and spend a week there to recover, and the Count couldn't be with her, obviously. So Marina, the seamstress, she was taken there by Ossip, and he asked her to take care of Sophia, and she was like, okay, of course I'm going to take care of Sophia. So the Count went back to the hotel, and when he got to their room, he just wept, but not just because he felt like so concerned about Sophia, but also because he had this feeling of like happiness being outside. It was outside for the first time, 30 years. So it was also a feeling of like happiness and warmth. And the descriptions of like the description while he is being taken back to the hotel, and he has like this little window, the back of the van where he's riding, and he can see like a lot of places that he doesn't really know anymore because they don't look the same, so he doesn't even know where he is. But he's just like having a blast watching and just seeing the lights in the evening and all that. And yeah, it must have been a feeling of like I don't know, a feeling of home. Obviously, it was a short one, but I was so concerned for him. I mean, at first, I thought that when he realized he was outside, because even some of the hotel employees, they realized and they were looking at the count and saying, "Oh my God, what are you doing outside?" I thought that the count was going to realize that and just get a cab and have someone go with Sophia, but father instinct kicked in, and the count was like, "I'm not leaving my baby girl behind, so I'm going down with her. I don't care what that means." And just, yeah, I love this guy. I love this guy so much. I'm going to continue reading and I'll update you later. Bye. Hi again. I think this is the first day of the vlog, and I believe this is my third or fourth update. I don't even know if I'm vlogging the entire week or not, but I already have a lot of footage. So let me just get down here. Okay. So I went to the beach for a little walk. That was really nice, and I went to the doctor's because my mom had an appointment, so I was just keeping her company. And now I'm back home. I don't know if you can hear that. I'm making soup for later. Right now we're in 1950, so the count is almost 6 years old, and Sophia just turned 17, which is the beginning of her adulthood. And the count sees her with a man, and he believes that. He calls him a scoundrel. But apparently he's just a piano teacher. Sophia has been learning how to play the piano. Hi, baby. Hola, Pepe. And yeah, this angle is really nice, isn't it? And yeah, it's so cute because I think I told you about his father instinct, when Sophia fell, and now he thinks someone is after his daughter. And he was just like, "I'm going to teach you a lesson, and I'm going to beat you up. You're going to get the beating of a lifetime." And yeah, it's just the piano teacher. And it's really cute to see how he developed this father instinct. He never had children, and he does not have like a partner. He had an on-off relationship with that actress Anna. But yeah, it's so cute to see that. I'm really enjoying it now. Of course, you get a lot of the reason why it's taking me so long to finish this book is because it's so dense. There's just so much information about Russian history and society and culture at the time. And obviously you go through the Second World War and you get a lot of information about that as well. And so some chapters are just packed with narrative and you don't get a lot of dialogue. And it's just information after information, like facts after facts, just really, really dense. But if you enjoy learning more and history is something that you really love, then I would recommend this book to you. But I have to say that sometimes it is a little bit slow paced, but in a good way. Like it's a slow pace that I actually appreciate. But it takes you a while, and also it makes you reflect a lot. So sometimes you don't even want to continue because you want to know, you want to reflect upon what you read. And I really like that. I like when a book makes me want to stop and think. It's not a bad thing for you to take a break. I think people sometimes have this misconception that for you to be a reader, you have to read nonstop. No, sometimes it's good for you to take breaks, do something else, and actually, digest what you read. Sometimes when you do that, you actually appreciate the book more rather than reading it, in one sitting and not really having a lot to say about it. So yeah, this is one of those books. So I'm going to continue reading while my soup is on the go. I don't know if he's upset with me or if he wants cuddles because he was left alone for a little bit while Mama was out. Mama was out. And he was sleeping when I got home, so So yeah, the weather is so nice now. And I actually have time to update you during the day, so you get like this nice quality. uh, in my first vlog, I know that I update you a lot during the evening, and the quality is not the best, and also the weather was really, really horrible last week. But yeah, now you have like this nice sort of quality, like not the best, but still it's better. It's an improvement. So I'm going to stop rambling and I'm going to read. Talk to you soon. Hi guys, so today is Wednesday and it is the last day of my mini break. Um, Going back to work tomorrow, so I work tomorrow and Friday and then weekend again. And I have the afternoons off, so that's cool. But yeah, I have a couple of busy days ahead of me, so today I'm taking it easy and I'm just going to make the most of it because not just tomorrow and Friday, but the month of March is going to be very busy. So I want to just relax today, finish my book. Let me show you. I have only this left to go. So I think it's like 40 pages or something. So I definitely want to finish it today. I don't know what. Yes, I know. I think I told you that I was starting book 5, and that's it. I'm almost done with that. So what happened? Fia is studying piano. She's 17 now, and Count Alexander is just like, I'm so proud. I'm such a proud papa. He's actually like now he's a little bit overprotective because so she was studying she's studying piano and she won an award and everything. She was actually invited to be part of this group of musicians, but they play at a different city, like thousands of miles away. And the count was like, no. So they were actually able to make her stay, and now she's part of the Moscow musical group. I forget the name. But anyway, she's really enjoying it, and he's a little bit overprotective, like he doesn't want her to leave the nest. But she's invited to go along with some of her bandmates on a tour in Europe. So they're going to Paris and then Prague, and this is going to last 6 months. And he was very excited about it. And Sophia, just a few days before the announcement was made, she actually wanted to quit because she said that she liked it there. She liked living in the hotel. She liked her life the way it was, and it hit the count, and I was so thankful. Thank God he understood, because obviously as a parent, I'm not a parent, but I know that this happens. Parents don't want the kids to leave the nest. They don't want anything bad to happen. I just want my kid here with me. I don't want them to grow up. Can time slow down? This is all very common, but it's also important, and sometimes some parents don't really realize it until it's too late, until the kid resents them or something. He realized that she needed to understand that her life was hers to live. She didn't have to stay at the hotel. He has to, because he's under arrest. He's 60 something now and he's under arrest still. He's a former person. He can't leave the hotel. The only time he did was to take her to the hospital, and it was so risky, he could have died. So he doesn't want her to feel like her life is limited to the walls of the hotel. And I was just so thankful that he got that, and he was actually able to convince her to go and go on an adventure and see what you can do and see the world and learn and all of that. So, but at the same time, he gets that feeling of an empty nest. Besides, just like 2 years before Sophia left, she just left actually like a chapter ago. Mishka died. So That was hard on the Count. Um, not just because not because he thinks that he doesn't have any friends left. He has established really strong relationships with people in the hotel, people he works with, people he has known for years. But Mishka was the only one that knew the Count, like really knew him before he was arrested. And it's like that part of his life is gone. It was really hard to read that, but at the same time, really rewarding because you can really see how the Count has changed and how this experience, this arrest, and having to be there in the hotel could have driven any man to madness. And he's still there and he's still surviving, um, but not without loss. Now, Sophia left, and we're getting like a lot of hints that something's about to happen. Like the Count is being really mysterious. This book has really different paces. Sometimes it's really slow pace, and now I think it's really. I don't know if the book is fast paced now or if it just became like a page turner to me, but I just want to know what is going to happen because he's being very secretive. He's talking about, things going according to plan. The day before Sophia left, he told her something, and they spent the evening discussing the whys and whens and hows, but you don't know what they're talking about. And they just had like this huge dinner party with, I don't know if all the members of the Communist Party were there or not, but there were about 46 or 48 men. The Secretary General is there as well, so Stalin is dead by this point. And Khrushchev, I don't know how to pronounce it. The new Secretary General is there as well, and so things have changed, and they witness after the dinner party, they witness the power of the first nuclear power plant in Russia, and it is providing electricity. It doesn't reach every region, but they're working on that. And the Count was there to witness that. But I don't think that was the reason. I mean, I don't think that's what he really wanted to witness. He made a point to be there. He wanted to be the waiter in charge of the dinner party, probably because he wanted to catch something from the conversations. Andre was supposed to be there at the request of the hotel's manager, but they were able to sort of deceive him, and Alexander took his place. But we're not really sure why yet, and but anyway, I have like 40 pages left, so I'm going to continue reading, and I'll let you know what happens. So I know I told you I wasn't going to share my theory with you, but I think I'm right. And I think that the Count is planning an escape. He's been gathering several items, and he actually broke in this room to get some things from an Italian couple. And now he's saying that he knew he was going to need to filch a few things from a Norwegian, a Dane, a Swede, or a Finn. And he's working in the Boyarsky, and a Finnish couple shows up, and he actually says something along the lines of, with only 24 hours to spare. So something's about to happen, something's about to go down. I think he's about to escape, and he's been gathering like several items from people from different countries. We'll find out why they have to be from different countries, but yeah, the Count is 60 years old or so, and I don't know, I always thought that if he was going to escape, he was going to escape when he was younger, because I don't know, I just think that when you're younger, maybe your courage is very different, and when you're older, you just sort of think there's not really anything you can do. You accept your condition, but not the Count. He never quits. It's always a surprise. So I'm going to continue reading, but I'm pretty sure that's it. He's about to escape, and I'm excited. It has been literally a second, and the Count was able to secure the passport. He lost his shoes, which I think is going to be a problem in the future, but like the hotel manager, who apparently has something, against everyone there, was in his room, and he found like the maps that the Count was like working on, a map of Paris and letters. There's no explanation as to why he was in the Count's room, and like he just left, and now like I'm really scared for his life, and my heart is beating a little bit faster than it was a second ago, and I really hope nothing happens. I'm just really scared. This manager has tried to get under his skin multiple times, and he's a hardcore communist, no consideration for others whatsoever. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm really, really scared. Okay, so let's get this straight. The Count is clearly planning his escape. He has been gathering items from several of the hotel's guests, trying to plan probably like a new persona, like creating a new persona or something so he can escape. He has everything planned out for months, and on the day that he finds someone to steal the passport from, the hotel's manager shows up in his room and goes through his stuff, and basically, I'm not sure if he knew exactly what the Count was planning, but he had an idea, and he left feeling like pretty good about himself, because he left the Count there just, oh my god, what's going to happen to me? He's not a fan of his, certainly. I was a little bit concerned. I was like, oh my god, he's going to tell the authorities, they're going to like kill him or something. And the Count just shows up. Remember when I told you that Sophia and the Count had that game, when they would see each other and they would wave, and then they had to be like the first one to get to the other place before the other one. And Sophia would always knew where the Count was heading, and she would always get there before he did. So he learned a lot, and he got to the bishop's office before he did, and he just had him there at gunpoint for like over an hour. He found the files the bishop had for each member of the staff, so and his was the thickest, so everything the Count did that the bishop didn't agree with, he would write in the file, and obviously he would use that to just ruin someone's life. So after everybody cleaned the hotel and everybody was asleep, so 3 a.m. maybe, the Count took him to the basement, to the boiler room, and they burned the files, and then he just took him down the basement and he locked him there, telling him that there will be a banquet on Tuesday. He says Tuesday night in the ballroom, so someone will find you because someone will probably have to come down here. So don't worry about it. And he left. First of all, I think I would be upset if I was reading, I don't know if the character was a little bit different, the book was different, I don't know, but I think I would be upset because this is so out of character for him. But at the same time, his whole life was out of character. He just had to learn how to adapt, and I'm so happy that he hasn't given up on his dream. But I'm still concerned because he hasn't left. He's still there. I'm so nervous for him. I really feel anxious. So I don't know how I missed this. I don't know how I missed this. So I don't know if I mentioned this character, Richard van der Weil. So he's an American, and before Stalin died, he asked the Count if he would sort of share any gossip that he would overhear, as to help the Americans understand what the new Secretary General was up to. And at the time the Count said no, but then I remember they had another talk, and it sort of gave me the feeling that the Count was agreeing to do just that. in exchange for something. And this is it. So Sophia just finished her concert in Paris, and then she left the stage. She went to the bathroom and she completely changed her clothes. She didn't have any shoes on, so she changed her clothes. She was barefoot. She cut off all her hair and dyed the little white stripe she had from when she fell with a dye that barbers used to use to cover up the gray hairs, and put on a boy's hat and just left and walked all the way to the embassy to meet Richard, who was expecting her but didn't know when, where, or how, and didn't even know that she was going to show up dressed up as a boy. So the Count actually sent through Sophia, via Sophia, information on that night, that dinner party that he wanted to attend, that he really had to attend. He wasn't there looking for something for himself, but he was there because he had made a promise and he was supposed to share any gossip that he could get his hands on with Richard. How did I miss that? I totally forgot that Richard and the Count had a secret meeting before Richard left for Paris. I didn't put two and two together. This is just a huge plot twist for me. Let's see if the Count can actually leave the Metropole Hotel without getting caught. That's like right now. I'm really concerned about that. That's everything I'm thinking about. He's okay. Yes. They were so clever. I mean, I can't even think of another character that could pull this off. Honestly, like this is so Count Alexander. I mean, it just has his name all over it. Like it was just so carefully planned. This was a masterpiece. On the day that Sophia arrived at the embassy and met Richard, was the day that the Count was escaping the hotel. But first he had to know that Sophia had arrived safely. So he sent him with the note about the dinner party. He sent him a note, like instructions on how to let him know that Sophia was okay. And that was to call every single telephone in the hotel at the same time. So Richard just gathered everyone who was awake at the embassy and got them all like line up calling the same number over and over again. And they had like over 30 phones just ringing at the same time, and everybody was freaking out. And the Count was just like, okay, time to go. And he left the hotel. I have 10 pages left to go. So this is the afterword. I couldn't do it. Like I would probably freeze and not be able to do half of what was planned, or I would forget steps. I don't know. I would never know how to like face the bishop after the bishop found the goodbye letters and the map with all like the line and the streets highlighted, hinting that the Count was planning on escaping. I would never be able to just stop, and in 5 seconds decide what I was going to do and plan everything again, and just decide on how I'm going to turn this around. And he did it, and this is an amazing book. He's safe. Yes. Last chapter. So I finished the book. I still have some questions. So there's this huge scene when the KGB realizes that the Count is missing and Sophie is missing in Paris. And Sophia's first piano teacher actually helped Alexander escape as well. We don't really know what happens to Sophia, but Alexander escaped. He was able to do it. And he actually went to, I can't pronounce this, Nizhny Novgorod province,
where his whole house was, and it was burned to the ground. He goes to this village and he meets someone who is described as willowy, and that's the same adjective used when they described Anna, the actress that had an on-off relationship with the count. And just, that's how it ends. So he was able to escape, and God willing, he was never found again. I would like to know what happened to Sophia. Is Sophia going to meet him at some point, or I don't know, is he going to meet her? But I really, really like this book. I really liked it. I'm going to film a review for it. I know that, I share a lot of what I was reading and what happened while vlogging. But I do want to talk about specific things and just film a review, because I know that a lot of people don't like vlogs because we tend to spoil a lot, and it's true, and that's what I did. I don't know why I was looking over there because my camera is upside down. I'm really happy. I really loved it. Totally recommend. So this is the end of the vlog. I really hope you enjoyed it. It ended up being like a 3-day vlog, but I only had a little bit left to read. Yeah, I'm going to edit this vlog and upload it and all that, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye.